Hi, everybody. Sorry, I am better, but we're still a little in the throat area. So today, by the way, I put up some new stuff behind me, even though this is still trash, and this is still trash over here. Just don't look at that, okay? Um, just to make the kind of what you're seeing behind me a little more interesting. Some of you might remember I found this at a thrift store. I need to fluff that up just a tiny bit. There we go. It's a souvenir hat from back in the day. I really think this is beautiful. It's probably, I'm going to say early 50s. Um, it was just so gorgeous. And I kind of like the fact that it doesn't have like Mexico, Bahamas, Hawaii, whatever on it. You know, it's kind of up for grabs where it's from. So let's get right into it. This week, and I hate saying this because I always say I'm not going to say this again. I did not get as much done as I wanted to, but I have a very good reason. You may remember last week I said that I was going to meet my sister at an estate sale. Well, I did. I just realized I think I wore the same shirt last week, but it's not a big deal. I did go to the estate sale. So before I show you the estate sale stuff, Friday, I went to Goodwill kind of on a whim, just like, good afternoon, Olivia. And they didn't have any patterns, but they had this thing, and I thought I could probably use that. I have no idea if this thing works, right? So it was $5.99. $5.99. I figured I'll try it. So let me show you what it is. So, okay, these were in the box. I have no idea what these are. But it is this, right? These are adjustable. You can do higher, lower, or I guess very high. And this clips off these legs. And it's called a tiltable. And you put your sewing machine on, like they show her doing on the box. Hold on. I just realized I might have shown you the box upside down. There we go. And I actually hope this works. If you've ever seen or used one of these, let me know. I don't know if these work, but I can tell you this much. When I work at the sewing machine, and part of it's because I'm so tall, I do the whole shrimp girl thing, right? I just learned that phrase from another YouTuber, but she cracked me up when she said that because it's exactly what it is. We're all like shrimp people, right? And if you're working on a project, your back starts to just, it's killing your back, right? So we'll try that. We'll see if it works. So let's get back to the reason I didn't get as much work done this week. I went to the estate sale. Some of you will have seen the short I did of the cookbook. And that was one of the things I got. Now, I'm going to tell you, I still have the box here. I got this whole box of stuff, including that cookbook and like a funny mug and a Walt Disney Mickey Mouse beer mug, which is probably vintage because they don't really do like the mugs like that anymore with Mickey. And then there was a box of fabric. So there were two things that really got me at this estate sale. She was a crafter. She had an entire craft room. So I'm going to show you, I bought some craft kits that were unopened. Most of them she had opened, so I couldn't really use them because I don't know if all the pieces are in them, right? But I bought her unopened ones, all of which I had to switch the packaging on because the packaging was in horrible shape. It was that, you know how like the old plastic gets that, it's that weird sticky, like gummy feeling, and it doesn't, you can't see through it anymore. So I had to do that, but I'll show you those in a minute. But there was a bin of fabric. And my little brain pan went absolutely crazy when I saw the fabric. So I'm going to show you the fabric and why I went crazy. Now, here's the first piece. I'm not sure. I washed these, and at first I thought this was an industrial fabric and that this was curtains because there's lots of it. And the pieces are all very long, right? It's so gorgeous, isn't it? But after I washed it, it softened up so much. I don't think it is an industrial fabric. I mean, it's definitely like a canvasy kind of weight, like a cotton duck or a cotton canvas. So, by the way, all this fabric got my creative juices flowing. Like with this, I really want to make a skirt. I mean, look at these colors. Can you imagine a skirt in that? So pretty, right? So I want to make a skirt out of this one. And I already got plans. I mean, I can't even move around my sewing room right now, but I have plans, right? Okay, this one, I have no idea why I got this other than I had like a little spate of nostalgia. This is the weirdest fabric, and so not my style. We talked about how I'm not a cottagecore gal, but look how cute this is. Very like reminiscent of Holly Hobby, definitely from the 70s. It's funny, it's cut up, but it almost feels like it might have been a pillowcase at some point in time. It's got that kind of feel like the permacotton from the 70s had, that was kind of like, it was like 50-50 polyester and cotton, and you didn't have to iron it. That's what it reminded me of. Oh, and this, which is definitely an industrial fabric, but it was so pretty. And there's so much going on in here. Let me see if I can find, oh yeah, here it is. This is why I got it, when I saw the hot air balloon. And I was like, yeah. So no idea what I'm going to do with this. I could just do something easy with it, like make napkins. I could use it to make a curtain for the back door of my apartment. I have like a little patio off the kitchen and there's a back door, something like that. Oh, this next fabric. Okay. You know that feeling when you see a beautiful fabric and it's a remnant and you grab it and then you're like, crap, it's probably not enough fabric for what I want to do. So I want to make this into a short sleeve shirt dress for the summer. It is a lighter weight. It's definitely a garment fabric, not a quilting or a craft fabric. It feels like cotton. Well, I call it cotton batiste, but I think I might be mispronouncing that. But it's like just a little on the thin side. And look at it. And there's maybe 2 yards here. So what I'd like to do is a shirt dress, but like a slim skirted shirt dress with short sleeves for the summer, like a very 1960s looking thing. And I got to figure out if I have enough to do this. I have 2 patterns that have that specific kind of dress. So this, I don't know why I got this either. This one, honestly, I have the stuff for making a purse or like a tote bag. And I'm thinking this would kind of be a cute beach bag, make a little beach bag out of this. And I have like the handles and stuff. So maybe this is definitely some kind of, this is also like a garment cotton. It's too thin to be quilting. It's just like, it's hard to explain, but when you feel like a garment cotton that's actually made for garments, and then you feel like a quilting cotton, the quilting cotton is just like a wee bit thicker, right? A wee bit. Oh, and this, okay, this is another one. I know exactly what I'd like to do with this. I'd like to make a peasant blouse out of this. How cute it is. This is another one. It's on the thinner side. It's definitely made for garment. Might be a little over 1.5 yards, maybe. So I have to try and find a peasant blouse. And I just want a basic one. The kind that's kind of a triangle here and it's got the dolman sleeves and it maybe comes to here. Just a really basic, straight, maybe a button and like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a split closure here. And that's it. Oh, and then there's this fabric. See, there's quite a lot of this. This I'm going to make a shirt out of because there was a lot of. It's weird. It's very vintage 1960s, maybe early 70s. I really like it. Yeah, don't you see a peasant blouse out of that one? It like screams for it. But this, there's probably about 2 yards, maybe more of this. This I'm going to make a shirt. I'm going to make a summer shirt out of that because that's just perfect for summer shirt. And the very last one, which was very apropos because, we just celebrated St. Patty's Day, was this. And can you see the close-up of it? This is definitely a quilting cotton. And the reason I say that is this kind of a novelty print. Of course, it's a quilting cotton, but there's a lot of this. This is another one that's a lot of, and I'm thinking maybe a shirt out of this. Haven't decided yet. Okay, so I'm going to show you the kits that I got. There's one kit in here that I actually picked up at Goodwill when I went on Tuesday, because there really wasn't anything at Goodwill, but I saw this and it was half price. And it's the only reason I bought it was because it's a Busilla, and Busillas sell pretty well. And this was half price. So, I mean, I think, I can't even remember what I'm charging for it, but like I was at least doubling my money on it, because Busilla is a really good name. People buy Busillas, and it's a cross stitch. And, you know, it's just horses cross stitch. It's a part of a collection. It's all written down here in the fine print. If you want to get a closer look at it, it's up on the Etsy page. And it's a nice kit. It comes with the needle, the Ada. It comes with all the yarn. So yeah, you know, I figured someone would buy that. It's cute. Now, the rest of the kits I got are all from the 70s and 80s, and they are fabulous. They are so boss. They're so boss. Okay, so here's the first one. Okay, and if that wasn't 70s enough, look at the back. Ooh, look at that fabric, right? But cute. And like I said, I had to replace, these are the bags I use for patterns. I had to replace the plastic because they were just trashed, right? And then more 70s. In fact, look at this 70s illustration. Doesn't that look like the same illustrator that did the Schoolhouse Rock, right? I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Looks like the same illustrator. And then these lovely little angels. And these are cute. You do the cross stitch, and then you can snap the, you can put the ornament in this and it snaps together. It's plastic. Not bad. It'll sell. This was so cute. And it was so messed up. It's so hard to see this. It's a chipmunk. I think it's a chipmunk with a butterfly net sitting on a toadstool trying to catch a butterfly. So for all the hippies out there, I have your sewing kit. You know, nothing more hippie than an animal sitting on a toadstool, right? So there were two of these. They were the same style. They're very nice. It's candle wicking, which is a style of embroidery. The whole kit comes with everything, including the pillow. So she had two of them. They were unopened. I grabbed both of them. I thought this is the kind of thing someone might actually buy both of them because they might want to decorate with them. So cottage core. Very cottage core. Okay, this next one. I'll be still my 70s heart. Okay. So the first thing about this is seriously full on with the earth tones, the 70s earth tones. That's how I knew it was from the 70s. I couldn't find a date on it. I knew it was from the 70s based on these colors. And then look at the yarn. It's like, woo, flashback. But again, and this one's called The Good Life. And I'm like, yeah, you got a little Chianti. Remember these? You know, you used to keep these and you'd get the candles that burn rainbow. Am I stepping too far back for some of you? Okay, so this was, I think, the one and only 1980s one, and it was late 80s. It was like 80. I looked it up. It was like 1988 or something. But it's a birth announcement. It's a unicorn with a teddy bear riding the unicorn. Obviously, it's blue for a boy. And it's a birth announcement. You put the kids, you know, age. And, oh, actually, no, this is from 95 because it actually says 4/6/95. So, you know, that makes more sense. Whenever I see pink, blue, and like minty green, I know it's the 90s. Hello, Marie. How are you? And hello. Oh no, so far it's just Marie and Olivia. And then there were two of these. They're really similar. Unfortunately, I thought they were both, but they're not. Both of them, there's like a companion kit, and they're felt, and they have everything. Like this one is just the wall hanging, that center one. And this one is only Mrs. Claus. So, but she's very cute. Mrs. Claus, it's some kind of a hanging pouch. I don't know what it's for. And then two ornaments. And like I said, all the felt in here. So if if you can't live without any of these, they're already up on Etsy. They're already priced out, ready to go. Feel free to jump on there. So that's one of the reasons I didn't get as many patterns done this week as I had wanted to. I did get a lot done, and most of them are up online. There's a couple that I haven't gotten to that are up online. All right, Maria said her mom had the candles in the bottle. I think a lot of people did. I remember my sister's first apartment. She had a Chianti bottle with the candle, with the rainbow drip candle, right? So I did get some stuff done this week. And the biggest thing, the biggest announcement, drum roll please, I emptied all of the bags this week. Yes, I was down to 2 bags. Friday night, I came home from work, and it's been really, really icky out. But Friday afternoon, it was actually sunny. It's sunny today. Yesterday, we had like gale force winds and rain. I don't know what's going on, but I got home Friday night, and I emptied another bag because I told you guys I was down to 2. And I just got, I don't know, I got a bee in my bonnet, as they say. And I was just like, just go empty the other bag. And so I did. And unfortunately, I found out that about half of both of those bags are cut patterns. Now, they're vintage. And I mean real vintage, like 1940s and 1950s and early 60s. So I can still sell them. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, Mrs. Landers, man, she took really good care of her patterns. So even her cut patterns, and it's amazing because I can see she pinked some of them. And I could see her pinking sheer where she went around the pattern. She took really good care of them. So even her cut patterns are in great shape, like better than some of the cut patterns I get. Cause I get cut patterns. It's like, who cut this? Like, were your eyes closed while you were cutting this pattern? Like they're all cut into the lines and whatever. But now Mrs. Landers, her patterns are lovely. So while I was going through those bags, I found a couple of patterns that were I had to grab them because they were too interesting. So we're going to look at them first. Number 1, for the money, Gunny Sacks. And it's basically a suit because it's a jacket, a blouse, and that skirt. So Jessica McClintock, the queen of cottagecore. And the jacket is like quilted. So it's really fascinating. And then if that wasn't cottagecore enough for you, Betsy Johnson. Look at that. 1970s Betsy Johnson. It was so hard to find this pattern. But I just went on Etsy and put in Butterick Betsy Johnson, and I found a bunch of other patterns, similar kind of designs, so that I could figure out what these patterns were worth. And look at that hair in the middle. Look at that. I know. But it'll bring a little bit of cash, that one. And then this one was really... Okay, I've never heard of this, but this pattern suspiciously is the same size as a McCall's pattern. And it's Polynesian pattern. It's number 187. And I guess it's the Waikiki dress because it says Waikiki. And I don't know if they're saying we're located in Waikiki or this is the Waikiki dress. So this is the dress. And then this is very strange. You can kind of see it right over here because it's not on the front cover. It comes with just bikini bottoms. So I don't know if you were supposed to go to Hawaii and get all wild and throw your dress off and go swimming topless. I'm not sure what the implication was there. But this pattern was cut. But again, Mrs. Landers takes really good care of her patterns. And so the cut pieces were in great shape, but she never made the bikini bottom. So it ended up being like a partially cut pattern because all this is still folded up and never used. And it was just a really cool, this was another one. I'm looking online trying to figure out, I don't know what these patterns are worth. And I couldn't find this pattern. I finally did find it, but it was hard. And then there was this. Now, you know that normally I've just been putting all of the patterns that are craft patterns aside. But when I was going through the second bag, I found a whole bunch of craft patterns. So I put them in the box with the craft patterns, except for this one, which was so big, it kept falling off the pile of craft patterns. So I was like, fine, I'll just take care of you right now. This is another one from the 70s. Nobody has this pattern. I was looking on Etsy. Nobody has it. So if you're interested, and this one, the cool thing about this one, These are all felt embroidery ornaments, and they are very cute. I mean, look at the kitty. How cute is that kitty? In here are iron-on transfers to do the embroidery. And all of this really pretty floral on the Christmas stockings, they're also in there too. So okay, so Olivia's saying she has some patterns from the Polynesian Pattern Company, and that is the name of the dress. That's what I thought, Olivia, because when I was looking online and I finally found Polynesian Patterns, I noticed that they had names like that, you know, like the names of the islands. So, all right, so let's get right to it. So as promised, this week, I worked on plus size patterns. Most of these, like I said, most of these are up online, not all of them. So while I'm going through, I'm kind of dividing up the plus size patterns by like if there's a company or a designer or whatever. And I find, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Delta Burke. Okay. I remember Delta Burke doing a line for, I think it was Walmart, of clothing. I didn't realize she had a pattern deal. So here is the jacket, denim jacket, or you can make it as a sleeveless vest, because it's from the 90s and we loved a vest. And then if you wanted the whole tuxedo, yes, I think they call this the Canadian tuxedo. Yes, if you wanted the whole tuxedo, you could also do the denim skirt and the jeans. And then there's more. So she also did stuff like this. And yeah, this is cute. Cute little wardrobe pattern, perfect for summer. It's all nice and flowy, right? They also had this. I'd never heard of this. This was like a Butterick brand, and they seem to, I only found this one, but when I was looking them up online to see, again, to price them, there was a whole bunch in this unlimited fashion options, and they were all plus size. So this must be a Butterick plus size brand. And then there's today's wardrobe. This was a plus size pattern. Again, like all the pieces. And again, nice for summer, right? There's the line drawings. So when I saw this one, I thought that today's wardrobe was a plus size line from Butterick. So I pulled this one out. Lo and behold, this one's only like an 8 through 12, but also a, you know, today's wardrobe, and cute. And there we go. So those were the Buttericks. So then after I got into the Buttericks, I found this, which is made for stretch patterns or stretch fabrics. And it's another wardrober. It's got all of these pieces. I put it in the plastic because I don't know if can you see how thick this pattern is? Yeah. And it's not just because it's a plus size pattern that it's so much tissue. It has a gazillion. Oh, it's a Texas tuxedo. There you go. It has a gazillion pieces. So there's tons of tissue in here. So made for stretch knits. It's from 1983, I think, even though to me it looks very 70s, but I think it's from 83. And I also found a bunch of ESP patterns that were plus size, which was nice. You know, it's always nice to find these 1980s ESP patterns. This is the dress and the jacket. And guess what? This is another one that is the dress and the jacket. This is a nice little suit, short sleeve jacket suit. And this, which was like a crazy kind of sundress / sailor suit thing. And this was also both pieces. In fact, there's the directions. The line drawings are on the directions. So those were all ESP patterns that happened to be plus size. They weren't specifically plus size, but they were, you know, they were just larger patterns. Then I did actually find Simplicity did a collaboration with, and I vaguely remember this system. It was called the Hoax System. See that over there? And it was this woman who, it's funny, on the label, her hair changes. The older patterns, her hair is different. And it was, it helped you, it was full figure patterns and full figure. Ooh. And they would outline like the kind of shape you had. And it spelled out the word hoax, whatever. So, but this was cute. It's a bathing suit, like kind of a bathing dress pattern and a sundress. And then I guess you could consider it a beach cover-up or a jacket. There's the line drawings. Here's a nice, just like an Easter dress with a long duster, or you could do it as a short jacket, or I think you could even do it as a, it looks like you could even do one of these. You could even just do as a shirt, but pretty. Easter's coming. The basic wardrobe, shorts, pants, tops, you know. It's actually a button-down shirt, 2 styles. There's the line drawings. And then this, ooh, saucy. So it's the nightgown, the robe, 2 lengths, and then a camisole and tap pants, and they're plus size. And look, her hair's changed. Her hair's shorter there. These are late 90s. These are late 90s, and you can tell because, look, they started to put the website on the bottom of them. The older patterns don't have the website for simplicity on the bottom. And then there's this dress. This is just a long dress, and then you can do like the over duster, or you can do just a short jacket over it. And then I have a bunch more that are just simply, they're just simplicity patterns. They're regular patterns. They just happen to be in the larger sizes. And I have one McCall's. I don't know how, but I didn't do McCall's this week. I meant to do McCall's. Yeah, Marie, that's exactly what plus size patterns before like the 2000s did. You have no waistline. You're just a block with feet and arms. Like, you know, Marie's saying that all the full figure patterns, their basic goal is to make you a rectangle. And it's true. They just make you a long block with some feet sticking out and some arms coming out the side and a head. No waistline. Like, oh yeah, I put on weight, so I don't have a waist anymore. You know, it's crazy because I look at old pictures of, like if you ever watch the Glambassador, she's also, I think the name of her channel is Chronically Overdressed. She will get vintage Lane Bryant catalogs, 30s, 40s, 50s, and everybody had, all the dresses have a waist. They do these things to make you look like you have a waist. They don't just put you in something that drapes straight down from your shoulder to your ankles and call it a day, you know, which is unfortunately, these are sewing patterns, right? So you can actually work with these, but I mean, some of the clothes they have now for women who are bigger, it's just like, really? Just like what? Put on a burlap sack and go cry in the corner because you gained weight? Give me a break. So I only did one McCall's by accident. There's still McCall's on the table. I haven't gotten to them. Actually, I can take this out of here. The only reason I have this in here is this is another one that's so thick. But this is the sexiest nightshirt on the planet. Because, yeah, if you want to end your marriage, here's your pattern. The pajamas aren't too bad. But, wow, you are just, look at that. It's like, it is actually very cottagecore, very Little House on the Prairie, but yeah, that's a lot of flannel. That's a lot of fabric. I guess the winter nights are very cold wherever you are if you're going to wear that pattern. So, and here's some more simplicity, and that's all I got. So this was a short video today, even with my incredible love of fabrics over here. Let me put this over here. All right. So yeah, simplicity. These I do not have up online yet. And I don't have the ESPs up online yet either. So yeah, these just really basic, but hey, at least look at this shirt. Because see, this is a regular pattern that they did in an extended size, not a plus size pattern. And that is the difference between plus size clothing and regular clothing. And then just a really basic shirt. Nice shirt though, very flowy, nice button down flowy shirt. Kind of like this one here, you know. And another one here, whole wardrobe, shirts, pants, shorts. This one, nice little summery one, right? It's got the shorts. It's got the skirt. It's funny. I remember these. Do you remember cargo skirts? They were like the cargo pants, except they were a skirt. I don't see them so much anymore, but I remember them. They used to have them. They'd have the pocket would be way down on the thigh, but they worked, right? All right. So, yeah, this unfortunately to me looks like what we were just talking about. Like, just, we're just going to put something on you. I mean, this almost looks maternity, doesn't it? It's not. It's plus size, but it really almost looks maternity. Like, come on. This was super cute. And again, look, it came with a vest. 3 styles of skirts and a vest. And then here, yeah, and here we go. Here's the one. Here's the ubiquitous plus size dress from the 1990s. There it is. It's just, yeah, because, you know, I if I carry my weight in my hips, the thing I really need to do is put giant patch pockets on the front of my dress. Am I right? Right. So anyway, so these are not up online yet, but they will be shortly. Okay, we're still talking about moo-moos and things like that. So when I emptied the bags in here, I made very quickly 2 decisions. Next week, I'm going to finish the patterns on the table and we'll look at them next week. But the majority of next week is going to be the Western patterns because I found a couple more Western patterns when I was emptying those bags and then we're done. And then the week after that, I think we're going to do bridal because I have, where did I put them? They're around here somewhere. Here they are. I have not only bridal, but I have these designer women's patterns that are so many of them. Like here's a perfect example. See, that's a very mother of the bride look. So yes, next week it's Western wear. So that'll be number 9, episode number 9. Yeah, lots of Western patterns. Probably not all of the men's because the men's, it's hard to really decide whether it's a Western pattern or not. But the women's, come on, if it is a, you know, if it's a dress for square dancing, I mean, I guess you could wear it other places, but right. And then the same with the bridal. I mean, the bridal's so specific, you know, they're actual wedding gowns. They say, you know, Simplicity Bridal, McCall's Bridal, Vogue Bridal. So I'll do the bridal after that. And that's about it. I am taking a couple days off at the end of the week next week for mental health days so that I don't kill all the children because sometimes I really do want to kill all the children. And I have an appointment with my cancer doctor. Hopefully it'll be like the last appointment for a very long time, if not forever. And I'm taking the dog to the vet on Friday. So I'm taking next Thursday and Friday off. So I'm going to get caught up on these. I'm going to do the Western wear. The Western wear is actually sitting outside airing out. I'm going to work on the bridal, which is also outside airing out. And yeah, all right, Olivia, you're right. Square dancing dresses absolutely could be cottagecore, but they're really pushing the envelope on the cottagecore. I mean, some of them, you're supposed to have the crinolines under them, right? The giant crinolines, so the dress comes out like this. Yeah, they just look a little, they look a little crazy. Like if you wore them around, you might look a little crazy yourself, but I'm sure there's somebody that would do it, right? I'm sure there's somebody that would do it. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan. And then after that, I have to be honest, when I was going through the patterns in there, I pulled a lot of the vintage stuff, the really good vintage, the 50s and stuff. I just pulled it. And I'm like, I need to start working on these. I did also find a ton more 80s. So there may be a second Lady of the 80s episode, and there may be another nifty 90s episode because I keep finding 90s patterns. It's difficult to keep doing little episodes about the 90s though, because so many of the patterns are the 90s. I have not found a 2000 pattern yet. Absolutely, as of today, the oldest pattern I've found is 1998, and it was one of those hoax patterns. It was 1998. So, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming Mrs. Landers died. I don't know when she died. A year ago, maybe 2 years ago. She could have been sewing, right? If she died in 2001, she could have stopped sewing in 2001 and not sewn anything for 20 years. So yeah, that's probably why, you know, I have patterns as old as 1998. I hate saying that. as old as 1998. You know, it's the worst. You know, these young kids, this is why I want to kill all the kids on the bus some days. They now refer to Y2K, or really 2000, as the turn of the century. And yeah, I'm not good with that. Not good with that. I'm not having that. Not having, you know, I was like I was 36 in 2000. Like, okay, no, we're not doing that. I can't. But let's close on a positive note. See this dog behind me? This one? That's Jesse. We call him Saint Jesse. When I had cancer the first time and I was so really sick, he was the dog that I had, and he used to lay on top of me. Um, all the time. I would lay in the bed, I'd feel really sick, and he'd lay across me and he'd just cuddle with me. He ended up dying of cancer. So I have a very good friend, Esther, and she always says to me, he took your cancer, right? Because he loved you so much, he took the cancer from you. And I was like, and every time I say it, I start to tear up. So we're not going to talk about it because I'm starting to tear up. And this is Lucky over here. I know it's hard to see him with the glare, but I put him in the thumbnail because I realized how bad the glare was on that picture. So he's in the thumbnail. That's when we lived in Puerto Rico. That's where I found him. And he's the dog that always interrupts me when he's ignored me all day. But as soon as I start to make a video on YouTube, he needs my attention right then. He's also the one that licks himself, chews himself, and scratches himself while I'm trying to make a video on YouTube. So you're all familiar with him because you've heard him in the background. I'm just picking up the fabric off the floor because I like the fabric. It's pretty. Oh, this one. I really wanted to make like a 60s suit, like a straight skirt suit with a jacket. Not enough, but so pretty, right? So anybody, anyway, until next week, like, subscribe, comment. I hope the weather is as nice where you are as it is today here. And I'm going to tell you, it's another reason I didn't get as many patterns done. Wasn't just all this stuff, was it rained so much I can't put the patterns outside to air out. They just, I can't put them outside where they're going to get more moisture. So I got to be really careful about that. So I didn't get to put the patterns out as much. I didn't do as many patterns, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, until next week, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, whatever they tell you to do on YouTube. And next week, number 9, we're going to do Western wear. So it should be really fantastic. So get your spurs on. And yeah, let's do some Western wear. Until next week, I hope you're all well. I'm going to get my straw out of this view. I hope you're all well. And I'll see you in the next episode. And have a great week. Bye.